Hello guys, so I'm going to try to do this in 15 minutes. I'm really working hard to, shorten my videos. I'm going to go through these vocabulary terms. The equation is a statement that two expressions are equal. It has equal here and it has an equal sign here. Inequality compares two values shown if one is less than or greater than. We have a less than here, so 2x plus 10 is less than 20 is an inequality. Inverse operations, it's the opposite operation. Okay, so we have adding and the inverse would be subtraction. The inverse of multiplying would be dividing. We have a coefficient that is shown by the letter M, the number in front of the variable in an equation or inequality. So here in the example, 2x plus 10 equals 20. 2 is the coefficient. Then we have constant, which is using the letter B. Okay, so we have the number being added or subtracted, also known as the initial value. Okay, so we have 2x plus 10 is equal to 20. So the 10 is the constant. Okay, then we have variable. That is a symbol that represents an unknown number. So when 2x plus 10 equals 20, it's the x. We don't know how many students bought ice cream. Okay, x is the variable. All right, then we have a model. It is a picture that represents an equation or inequality. Okay, so here in this example, they're all unshaded, so they're all positive. So we would have 5x plus 6 is equal to 1. Okay, that would be the equation that is represented in that picture. Okay, another thing that I want to add is y equals mx plus b. Okay, this is the coefficient or initial value. Okay, this is the variable. Okay, this is the constant. I made a mistake on this part. This is the initial value. The coefficient is with variable. Okay, sorry about that. All right, there we go. Take a moment to write that out. Okay, let's go into the next page. Combining like terms. Okay, so here we combine like terms, which is the process used to simplify an expression or equation. We combine like terms by adding or subtracting constants and variables. Okay. The reason why I circled and boxed in different colors is because we're about to do some practice. Okay, so the first step, I'm going to do number 1 with the rules. Okay, so the first step is, it says you group your constants together, so you're going to circle all of the constants. Remember, the constants according to our definition was what is being added or subtracted. Okay, so here I have plus 5 and then I'm adding 3 over here. Okay, it's also the initial value. It's the number that does not have a letter next to it. It's by itself. Okay, and we're circling those, not boxing them. Okay, now it says in step 2, group your variables together. So this is your variable, but then over here I have a positive 2x because it has an x. That is a variable term. All right, now we are going to add. Okay, I'm going to start with the variable terms. So I have 2x plus x. Something that you need to know is that this is just a singular x. It's a 1 in front of it. We don't write the 1, but it's there. 2 plus 1 is 3x. And then we're going to add our constant. So I have 5 plus 3, which is 8. That means my answer is going to be 3x plus 8. I can also write this as 8 plus 3x. It's the same thing. It's just moved around. Okay, now let's do the next question. Okay, we have negative 2x. So first step tells us to group the constants together. So I'm going to circle positive 11. I don't see any other constants. Okay. Now I'm going to box the variable terms. I see negative 2x and positive 6. Okay. So here, again, I'm starting with the variable terms. I'm going to do a scoreboard because I see a negative 2x. So I'm going to put 2 there. And I see a 6. Now, if they're on opposite sides of the scoreboard, we're going to subtract. So 6 minus 2 is going to give me 4. But here is where we remember that the answer is going to take the sign of the larger number, because when you have different signs, you subtract and keep the sign of the larger number. Okay? So now here, let's do another thing that I want to remind you. Remember, this had x's, so we would have positive 4x. Okay? Now, I just have one constant, so all I have to do is rewrite for x plus 11. Okay? Now here, I can also rewrite that as 11 plus 4x. Still the same thing. Let's do one more. Okay, I want to do this one because here I have one constant, but look how many variable terms I have. And then look, they're not all the same. I have 2 negatives and 1 positive. So over here, oops, guys, I didn't do the right color. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do the scoreboard again, okay? 3 is on the negatives, 9 is on the negatives, and then we have 15 over here, okay? So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a look, okay? And we're going to add these two. That's 9, 10, 11, 12. So now I have positive 15 and negative 12. They're on opposite sides of the scoreboard, which means I'm going to subtract. So 15 minus 12 is going to give me 3. Now remember, didn't mean to erase that, meaning to highlight it. 15 is the bigger number, so my answer is going to be a positive 3x. Okay, and all I'm left with is one constant, so I can rewrite my answer as 3x minus 8, or negative 8 plus 3x. Okay, that negative has to go with the 8. Okay, all right, moving on to page 16. Pause it if you need to. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move forward. Okay, let's look at modeling and solving equations using models. Okay, remember, a model is just an equation displayed in picture form. Okay, so here, we're going to say that the green rectangles are positive. So I have positive 2x, and we're going to say that the yellow boxes are also positive. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 2x plus 9 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, that's my equation. All right. Now, let's go ahead and start solving equations, okay? By the way, after you finish page 15, I want you guys to go and do the combine and like terms assignment, okay? Then continue on to this. All right, so here, we're going to rewrite 2x plus 9 is equal to 15, okay? I'm going to draw a line down the middle of the equal sign, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and box or circle my constants in red and box my variable terms in green, okay? So here, we've already brought down the line, so check, we've got this done, okay? This says do the inverse operation of adding or subtraction. So this is to remove the constant. Okay, you only do this to remove the constant. So we have positive 9, that's addition. So the inverse operation is negative 9. So whatever I do on one side, I have to do on the other side. Okay, so again, another thing that I want to add, this is the left-hand side and this is the right-hand side. Okay, so whatever I do on the left-hand side of the equal sign, I have to do on the right-hand side of the equal sign. Okay, now we have positive 9 and negative 9. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this because I don't need the 9s anymore on the left-hand side. So I got to move the 2x down. I got to bring the equal sign down. and I have to do the subtraction of 15 minus 9. And that would be 6, okay? Now, 15 is the bigger number, so my answer is going to stay positive 6, okay? All right. Now, we're looking at number 3 in the steps. Do the inverse operation of multiplying and dividing, and we do that to remove the coefficient. Okay, we do that to remove the coefficient. Let me see if I have enough space to write it. Okay, the coefficient is this number right here, the 2, okay? That's the coefficient. I have to divide because here, between 2 and the letter x, what's happening is they are being multiplied, okay? So I have to divide by 2 on the left-hand side and on the right-hand side, okay? Now that I have that, I can cancel out the 2's because 2 over 2 is just 1. It's a whole, right? So x is equal to 6 divided by 2. I know that 2 times 3 gives me 6, okay? So here, this would be 3. It would be x is equal to 3 as your answer, okay? Let's do example 1, okay? And I think this, I might do one more after this, okay? So here, let me rewrite my equation. I have an unshaded 2 rectangle, so that's positive 2x. These circles are counted as 1, and they're positive because they're not shaded. But then over here on this side, I have these shaded circles, okay? This is negative 1, guys, okay? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in total, okay? So this is what I've got. Let's go ahead and put our line down the equal sign, okay? Now I'm going to circle my constant in red. I'm going to box my variable term in green, okay? First thing I want to touch or remove is the constant term. So here, remember the inverse of addition is subtraction, and whatever I do on the left-hand side of it is going to be done on the right-hand side of the equal sign. So now we have negative 8 and negative 4. If you notice, there's a negative and a negative. What happens when you have the same signs? You're going to add and keep the sign. So here, we're going to do 8 plus 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so now I'm going to cancel this out on the left-hand side. Bring down 2x is equal to 12. Okay, now I got to remove the 2 in the variable term. So I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides of the equal sign. Okay, now 2 becomes a whole number, so I can cancel it out. I bring down my x and my equal sign. I do 12 divided by 2. But here's the thing, something I didn't write on here. What do you notice about the sign? I didn't add it, did I? So now that I add it, if we look at it, it's going to be negative 12 divided by 2. So here you can actually do your Dorito man. There's a negative 12, a positive 2. We're left with a negative. So my answer is negative 6. Okay? So here is your final answer. Okay? Take a moment to pause. Okay? All right. Let's go to the next one. So I'm going to quickly do this one. Okay? These are negatives because they're shaded. Okay? So this would be negative 4x minus 1 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Let's do our line down the middle of the equal sign. Okay? Let's circle our constant, box our variable term. Let's go back and let's do the inverse operation of what's being done here, which is a subtraction sign. So I'm going to do plus 1, plus 1. Okay, this cancels out. I'm going to bring down negative 4x is equal to 8. Okay, I'm going to go back, and I know that my coefficient is negative 4, so I have to divide by negative 4 on both sides of the equal sign. This cancels out. I get x is equal to 8 divided by negative 4. I know that 4 times 2 gives me 8. Now let's do the Dorito Man to help us figure out what sign it's going to be. Negative 4, positive 8, I'm left with negative 2. So my answer is x is equal to negative 2. Okay? All right. Here in a second, all I'm going to do is write the equations for 3 and 4, and then I want you to try to solve them, and then later on the notes will be posted with the filled in notes will be posted. Okay? All right. So here, these are all positive, so we should have 2x minus 4. The only thing, I said they're all positive, but what do you notice about these? They have a negative inside. These have a positive. So it's 2x minus 4 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Try solving it. Okay? All right. Oops. Let's do the next one. Again, this one has symbols inside of negative and positive, okay? So we have 3x minus 2 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay? Take a moment to solve it and then check the notes once they are posted, okay? Thank you. Bye.